Dreamers now have less than 4 months left before the DACA program expires, which allows them to live and work in the U.S. legally. We often describe these 800,000 immigrants as those who were brought to the country illegally as children, but almost half of them came legally on visas but overstayed the time limit. One of those immigrants has been sharing her story with us this week, Catalina Velasquez. In the ongoing dialogue with Dreamers tonight, who are directly impacted by this program's expiration, we're talking to her. Tonight, Catalina, who's a 29-year-old trans advocate originally from Colombia, shares the story of her family, who she hasn't seen or hugged, she says, since 2009.
We are part of the over 40% of undocumented immigrants with overstay visas. We came here on a B2 tourist visa as a family unit, my mom, my dad, my sister, and I, through the Miami International Airport. And I didn't know that this was going to be a permanent move because my family tried to insulate me from an over 50-year civil war taking place in Colombia, several kidnappings, deaths within the family due to this armed conflict.
In your family?
Yes. And even my dad at some point was shot. And I never really understood the context as to how my family came to the decision of coming to the United States until I was an adult and seen within the family as someone that could be finally shared with all of the realities that they face.
Because you don't want to put that on a kid.
Absolutely. They wanted me to grow up as healthy as possible. And health also includes mental health.
Sure.
Those stressors definitely become determinants of success. And so we have to, my family was very conscientious about that. What people don't know is that we don't really have defined channels for naturalization or what many people in media call it the correct way of migrating, whatever that means. And my family spent over $50,000 on different attorneys, became victim of a legal scam, right? Because we know that the largest levels of corruption within the legal field are within tax and immigration law. And so a lot of families fall victim to those scams.
Who place all their trust and all their money in this person they really believe is going to help them.
Absolutely.
So they were denied asylee status.
They were denied their asylum, and then because they fell victim of a scam, then they appeal to try to to a different venue, which again is a lot of money. People don't realize, but there's asylum cases for refugees, right? And if we think of refugees as millionaires, and that's the problem, right? Refugees are people struggling, people running persecution for all sorts of reasons, and they were expected to pay fees, attorney fees, that could be as high as like $15,000, $20,000 for an asylum case. And so the predatory behavior of immigration attorneys in this country has led to a lot of people falling out of status. And we don't discuss that. We want to talk about an immigrant experience, which is not really helpful because we come from so many places for so many different reasons that those patterns need to be more granular and teased out and whatnot. But of the 11.2 million undocumented immigrants living in this country, like 40% of us are overstay visas. Yet we only want to push the story of a border crosser and whatnot from this socioeconomic status, from this gender, and fail to see that it's hard because we do come from all backgrounds. We don't have a welcoming package upon entering the United States, and so my family fell victim, and after living for 7 years in this country, they were deported.
So your mom, dad, sister all had to leave.
Yeah.
And you happen to be what many would say is the lucky one who got DACA. But I'm sure sometimes it feels like guilt and what do I do now? And you've just had to figure it out?
Well, I don't feel guilty because I didn't deport or detain my family for 4 months or deny my father medication while in detention because we failed to have a check and balance system that looks at the conditions of detainees in detention. I didn't do anything. I don't feel guilty, but I definitely feel that the way we're defining success is very narrow, and I think that the way we are defining merit or like acknowledging merits is unfair because my dad has started small businesses. Yes, he wasn't a Georgetown graduate, but my dad was a wonderful business owner. It's not like they were here in any way that wasn't to contribute to the U.S. fabric of society. Right now we're talking about a Clean Dream Act. We need that, and it will benefit my deported family. They were all sent to Colombia my first semester at Georgetown, but at the same time they're facing risk there because the government was unable to see their credible fear of going back and not just see but actually work with humanitarian refugees like my parents and sister.
I see.
And so I worry because nobody should be separated from their families. And the current conversations have very dark undertones as to what will happen to people and families.